sometimes I wonder how many people feel the same way that I do. I feel like it's a lot. I realize though that we all feel this way, but so little is actually getting done. We're all just sick of how things are and how things are working. And a lot of people just don't really think about it, and other people's get other people get stuck in it. And it just causes this overwhelming feeling of anxiety and depression in so many people. And some people are more open to it, and other people close themselves off more to it. It's like there's all these problems in the world that could be easily solved just if we cared enough to solve them. If we didn't let these huge corporations control us, if we didn't let these perceptions of thought close us in, and these ideologies just stop us from making the correct moves in society. Just like evolution, like Christianity, just fight against evolution. But it's so much more than that, because it's not even just that. Is such as the ideological ideals of eh, the ideals in marketing structures. Like we have to make money doing this, and we have to make money doing that. Just like Chevelle recently, how he hijacked the AIDS medicine and made it ridiculously high, and how they just increased the price of EpiPens, and all these people are going to suffer because of this that could be helped. And it's because we are stuck in this way of thinking of profit margins and the bottom line. And it's because we're stuck. We're stuck in this capitalist society that capitalism isn't a bad thing, but with the fractionalized banking system that we have and the reserve bank and the fact that it's all based on our perception. Money is only the value of which we give it, but we're constantly changing who gets to value the money, and their reasonings of do it often normally get swept under the rug. To a lot of them, it's just a big game. War is just a game. It's a game to make money, and it's sick. It's the same thing with like they just after World War II, how they put the Jews and the Muslims together in Israel, and that's what caused them to fight, and that's what caused Palestine and Israel to have these battles that they're having today. Because Palestine was originally there first, if you're not including the Bible times, because according to them, well, God promised them the land to the Jews, so they kicked him out, even though at the time Palestine, then the Muslims were already promised the land by Great Britain. But regardless of that fact, there's other things that are like that as well. It's just so much. Just like the marketing for diamonds. Diamonds aren't even that like rare. They're very important mineral and they're very useful, but their market value was not nearly worth what it is today until a marketer came along. He's like, these rocks that are don't really cost that much. We can make them now. Even now, we can make them ourselves. But back to the story, some marketer was just like, let's make these rocks seem like the most important thing ever, and increase their value hundreds of times over or thousands of times over. And that's what they did, and they made billions of dollars doing it. And now there's slave labor camps in Africa due to that. And it's not only that, but we have lobbyists going over there and overturning the government and making sure that they don't progress. I mean, look at Iraq and all that stuff and how much money they made rebuilding the infrastructure, but not in the way that it needed to be rebuilt. It was a whole bunch of hotels built for the super rich, and Dick Cheney made a buttload of money with Halliburton because he was getting paid double to build whatever he built there. And that's because of poor structuring from our side and their side and the economics of it all, and the fact that people with money will use the government, like they will purposely get laws changed to use it for their own personal gains. And all that time, we're just making people sicker. We're making the world sicker doing that. Education levels just keep on slipping for some in some areas. I mean, not all areas. I mean, as a general, I like to think that we're improving and progressing, but a lot of places are staying stagnant, and they want it that way. They're trying to keep progression as slow as possible because they don't want any overturning. They don't want people to figure it out. I mean, I'm sure there are ones that do, but there's a whole bunch that don't too, and they stick together and they plan out our lives because they have the ability to do so. And I just think about how it just makes this world such a sick place, because especially with like medicine and certain technologies that don't cost barely anything to make, but we put them out there and we don't let anyone use them because someone invented them and they want such a high amount of money for them. And a lot of times you'll build an invention on top of another invention that was just recently built, so everyone has to get like such a large cut that is unneeded. And like you see all these inventions on Facebook that save lives and help a lot of people, but they're not released to the public, and it's kind of just a shame. It's just sick how we do it. And I understand that we have an overpopulation problem, but we also have overpopulation solutions that we are not putting into effect. And then we wonder like why everything is looking so bad, and we have all these solutions to all these problems that we don't even use. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're just so poorly structured that it's hard for us to move. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous sometimes. The world is just a sick place.